I've talked to children who've ended up in a home, in a permanent home, as a result of the work of the staff at Children's Home Society. Those children all of a sudden are nurtured, they're safe, they're loved. There is no better situation for a child than to be loved by a family, to be able to identify with a family and be a part of a family. At the time Children's Home Society was founded, there were children who were literally orphans, literally without homes, literally without any kind of support, nowhere to go. And all of a sudden there was a need for a place for children. United Methodist minister, Comstock, brought kids in from everywhere into this one kind of home so that they would have a safe place to be and a place that then he could look for homes. But it was more of a way of protecting children who were at risk and real risk in a way that was just threatening to their lives and their existence. Little by little, over all of these years, agencies were formed that helped children in different ways. And as a result of that, Children's Home Society began to grow because of its need. It got bigger and better. In a year's time, Children's Home Society will impact almost 13,000 children in the state of West Virginia. Now here, 100 years later, after the organization has spread and after the organization has made itself a part of 13 different communities in the state of West Virginia, they're really still doing the same thing. They're still protecting children. They're still finding homes for children. They're still making a difference in those children's lives. The point is that there are more children now than there ever was.
My parents adopted me, and they went through Children's Home Society. They put me on a path to where I am today. Couldn't imagine ending up in a better situation than what I have. I mean, I have a great family, and I just can't imagine that, without Children's Home Society, where my life would have gone or where I would have ended up if they weren't there for my parents to go to.
It's the most rewarding thing I've ever did in my life. My children are such a blessing. To think that you can make a difference in someone else's life, it's a wonderful experience. And they give back so much more than we could ever give them. Our children have been very accepting each time we have chosen to adopt. We've talked to them about it. We're very open about adoption with them.
I'd always wanted a playmate, and the fact that I was getting one was amazing. But as I grew older, I realized that they weren't just playmates or, little friends. These were sisters that I had to take care of and protect and be nice to. And it's put a sense of responsibility on me, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Hannah went with us when Mary was born, and we picked her up, and Hannah was so excited to be a big sister, and they have just always stepped up and welcomed any child in our home.
Think about it. They know they're all adopted, and they don't even think about them not having the same birth parents. I mean, we're their parents. They're very close as brother and sisters, and very loving to each other.
The way I see it, they're the people that have raised me, have taken care of me, done whatever needed to be done to ensure I was okay. And to me, they're my parents.
I mean, it's changed everything for us. It's brought us closer together. It's made our family unit very tight.
My family is just amazing. I would not change anything about it for the world.
It's also fulfilled our need to be part of something, be part of the community, be part of an organization that's so worthwhile that it's gratifying to us, and we're glad to be a part of it.
We weren't doing anything statewide to make a difference. So in 2011, we decided to let Children's Home Society be our charity, and I think it's one of the smartest decisions we've ever made. Number one, the money stays in West Virginia, and it does help children. And a little bit of money goes a long way. We've been into those homes, and we've seen that. So many of our clerks are involved in their communities. They're aware of Children's Home Society. They want to do what they can do to help. But when somebody steps in and says, hey, thanks, I appreciate you selling the flour. I appreciate what you're doing in our communities. It becomes more of a partnership. We've run this program 3 years and have raised almost $250,000, a dollar at a time. And that goes back to our concept of if everyone gives a little, we can make a huge difference.
I was clueless to how great the need is out there for places like our shelter, how great the need is for an organization like Children's Home Society of West Virginia. I had no clue. And if I had no clue, there have to be so many in our communities that have no clue either. The Walk for Children is meant to raise awareness in every part of West Virginia. That's why we walk so many miles. That's why we walk through so many counties. That's why we walk through so many towns. We want to share our stories with the community, let them know just how many children are in their own neighborhood that are in crisis and need a place and need an organization like Children's Home Society of West Virginia. They would want to help children who are sad, depressed, poor, abused, neglected. If they heard the stories, that I have seen with my own eyes every single day for the last 13 years, I think they'd be shocked. I think that they would be like, you know, I want to help. I definitely want to help. And we need their help. Our kids need their help.
The people at the Children's Home Society of the great work they do every day and how devoted they are, that they dedicated their lives to people like me when I was born, or other children that don't have homes, that are some sort of trouble, that they have a place to turn. There is a place that they can go to, people that they can go to that are totally focused on them and their situation, and work hard every day to lead them down a path that is more hopeful.
It's really been one of the most rewarding jobs I have ever had, because there are so many children out there in our communities that are in crisis, displaced children. We live in such a throwaway world, and there's so many throwaway kids, and they end up in our shelters. Many sad stories, sad, heartbreaking stories come through our doors. And to be able to be there, listen to a child wipe their tears is... There's nothing more rewarding.
I've been in facilities and I've seen children who just sort of look up at you, and you think to yourself, what would this child be, or where would this child be if it wasn't for this service in this facility? And so then you start feeling real proud that you're a part of an organization that's able to offer these children safe haven, these children a place to be, these children food, these children even education. It's a good feeling, it's a satisfied feeling, and I love it.